Connection with the inspirational word for you. This is the Bishop's Connection to the Facebook family and friends. Oh, woo. This is the Bishop's Connection.
Good day to my my Facebook and YouTube family. Welcome to Bishop's Connection. Let's turn in our Bibles to the book of Luke's Gospel, chapter 22, verse 40 through 42, which forms our base scripture. And the word of the Lord reads, "And when he was at the place, he said unto them, Pray that ye enter not into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done." Today we are concluding our series on the subject of understanding the will setting process. Understanding the will setting process. The fifth component, which this is a component of the deliberation process that sets the course of the human will and ultimately controls your life. Now, on last week, we began talking to you about the fifth component, and we gave you the first part of the teaching. Today is going to be part B of the teaching, which concludes our series. And we began talking to you about the value and beliefs that we have about the issues that are being deliberated in our life. Now, I want you to understand a very critical statement. And that statement is, the human will makes small, gradual concessions which establishes and forms a new behavior path. Did you get that? Then human will makes small, gradual concessions which established forms of new behavior paths. Now, to illustrate this truth, this truth is easily seen in the persuasive approach of the average salesperson. The salesperson attempts to get you to gradually agree with certain undeniable truths about their product. As you progressively agree with one point after another, you will find yourself on a course to purchase the product. This truth about how we function gives us the winning advantage when we are choosing to set our will. We understand the magnificent impact of small changes. They soon lead to major transformations. To bring this process under the control of godliness is quite simple. When pleasing God is established as the major object of my affections, and being a righteous example in my generation is my priority, I can now use the aforementioned truth to my advantage. Another critical statement that I like to share with you is this. When pleasing God is the critical or central object of my affections, and my Christian witness is of critical importance, any situation, habit, or temptation that challenges this commitment is perceived, listen, as emotional pain. As I learn to associate pain with the habits and the misbehavior that challenges my commitment to pleasing God and evaluating the benefits that accrue from pleasing God, my will can be established to move away from the habit and toward pleasing God. Another critical statement is this: willpower which is the strength of the will to sustain a course of action, is the product of the continuous flow of the information that initially set the will on the desired course. Another critical statement is this: pain reference enhancers, and we'll talk about a few of those in just a few moments. But pain enhancers references help magnify the impact of undesirable habits and behavior to enforce the establishment of the will on a more desirable course. The stronger the pain reference, the greater the impact is on the will setting system. We can deliberately magnify the pain of a continuous undesirable behavior through pain, reference enhancers. This will assist the will setting process. Now, I'd just like to share just a few of these references of pleasure and pain, because when I think about going into the new year, there's going to be a lot of money that's going to be made on weight loss. Every year, you begin seeing all of the commercials that advertise this product or that product or this weight loss program, because they know after the holidays, people are going to be more conscious of weight, and we want to get rid of those holiday pounds. So therefore, they seize the moment of trying to offer you their products. And they do a good job of selling it. And many go out and rush and buy the diet programs. They get the new exercise equipment. And that lasts maybe 30 days. And then the treadmill becomes a hanger closet for extra clothes. And then we throw a cloth maybe over the bicycle, the stationary bicycle, or whatever equipment that you have, because you have not set your will. Your will is not set. You see, let's look at poor choices of overeating foods. Okay, and I know many of us enjoy the wonderful delectables over the holidays here, and I am not trying to make anyone feel bad about that. That is not the point. Because you can enjoy food, but you can also overeat and overindulge, because we should eat to live and not live to eat. There's a difference. Think about that. But let's look at some of the pain references of overeating and making those poor choices. For instance, a pain reference is I will not have the energy necessary to fulfill my purpose, because you feel sluggish. You don't have the energy. How about your spouse will have to maybe care for you because you have developed various health challenges that now has inhibited quality of life. And now you have begun to form diseases as a result of poor eating choices. And when you talk about the relationship with your children, what happens is many times children will eat the wrong foods or too much food because we could model this behavior for them. These are pain references. Poor health is developed from it. You can develop cancer, high blood pressure, stroke, diabetes, high cholesterol. The list could go on. These are pain references. But then how about pleasure references? When you begin to make the right eating choices, then you'll have the energy necessary to fulfill your purpose. How about when you eat right and make the right choices? You will have enough energy now to enjoy your life with your spouse without the challenges, the health challenges that is a result of overeating and eating the wrong foods. Then you've modeled the right example before your children. If they see you eating right, then they will desire to eat right. Then how about the health advantage? Then now you will probably lose a few pounds because now you're eating the right foods, okay? And then how about finances? Then you're not overspending, buying clothes to try to fit your increasing body mass. Many times you will try to use the example of, well, my clothes are getting too small. Maybe they're shrinking. No, we are increasing in weight. It's not the clothes. The clothes is not the problem, you see. But when we eat right and we are conscious of these things, then what happens is that we don't have to overspend our finances trying to purchase a new wardrobe. Let me just share a few others with you. How about when it comes to your money? You can have the pain of overspending, not having a budget. That can bring problems into your life. You want to make sure that you're not experiencing the pain because you've not set your will to condition yourself to be disciplined when it comes to your finances. You want to sit down, and I've over the years talked to scores of people that do not desire the discipline to sit down and sketch a budget for their life. They don't even like the word budget because they consider that a curse word, because they love to just spend, and they have no control in this area. You see, you have to set your will, because when you look at the pain references, it could cause you to not obey God in the area of your giving. Because when you overspending and you don't have enough, then when you go to church, I'm talking just particularly to believers, then you get upset when it's time to give tithe and offerings. Not because tithe and offering is wrong, because it is right. It's because you don't have enough, because you've not disciplined your life in that area. You're overspending. And then what happens is, then you develop problems in the home, because now you find yourself, particularly if you're married, you're arguing with your spouse because you don't have enough. And in the moment that they go out and make the smallest purchase because the money is tight, then you start arguing over things that really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Something that's so simple that can be just a molehill. But once the argument starts, then it becomes a big, huge Mount Everest in your relationship. That's the pain reference. But just quickly look at how when you develop a discipline of spending, when you develop a discipline of spending, then now you are in a position to obey God. That's very important. You want to please God. It's nothing more exciting and fulfilling than to know that you're in the perfect will of God and you're pleasing God with your life and in the area of your giving. And then how about with your spouse? Then you're not fighting as much. You're not or disagreeing over money. You don't have those issues to deal with. And then now you're able to provide the things that you need to take care of your family like you desire to, and you should. How about with your health? Now you're not stressed out. These are pleasure references, are enhancers of being disciplined when it comes to your spending. And then when it comes to your finances and your career, your business, if you're a business owner, it will prosper when you get your finances in order. And then you will not be living from paycheck to paycheck. Do you see what I'm saying? How about procrastinating? That's a big one. When you procrastinate, a lot of people have been procrastinating. And that comes with pain. Because now when you procrastinate, you're not able to obey God and be obedient to him. God will give you an assignment, but you are not dependable because you procrastinate, you put things off. Okay? Then what happens is, then your children will find that you're not dependable. Then your health will be challenged because you're putting off doing what's necessary even to remain healthy. You procrastinate making an appointment for your annual physical. You see, that's procrastinating. That's the pain. And the result of that is that it can bring about health challenges that could have been prevented if you would have not procrastinated and got a checkup. And particularly the more you age, the older you get, you need to be more concerned about your health. Okay? It's important. And then finances. Finances, the pain from that is that when you procrastinate in these areas, then what happens is that it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you more money. But let's look at the pleasure references. The pleasure references is that now your spouse can trust you. You're trustworthy. You're dependable. Your children can depend on you. Now your health is now more in order because now you've not procrastinated. Now you have educated yourself and you're aware of the things that's going on in your body, and you can begin to make those alterations and changes that you need to live a healthy quality of life. Then financially, it's not going to cost you more money because now you're not procrastinating when it comes to your health. Got it? So these are just some pain and pleasure references. Then the last one I want to share with you as an illustration is anger. Now that is something that gets people in a lot of trouble, because when you have anger management issues, guess what? Your relationship with God is going to be affected. Yes, it will. It's going to be affected because now you are going to be disobedient to God's commands in your life. Your flesh will be in control rather than the Spirit of God. That's the pain reference. And then you're not going to be in right relationship if you're married with your spouse. Then what happens is that if you have anger management issues as a pain enhancer, then what's developed from that is that now your wife, your spouse is afraid of you. Your children are afraid of you. Then you create this uneased atmosphere whenever you're around. And then how about in your finances? Your business can suffer if you are a business owner, because if you have anger management problems, you can drive away good customers and clients because you don't have your emotions under control. But when you begin to manage, this is the pleasure side, when you begin to manage your emotions, that anger in you, and stop getting riled up over nothing, a little of nothing. Now you're more in a position to be led by the Spirit of God and to be obedient to the commands of God in your life because you have that area under control. You have discipline in this area. Now your spouse is not afraid to have a relationship and be with you and be around you. Your children are now more at ease, and now they love to be around you and to love on one another like you should, because you have that area under control. Then now your health will even improve. These are pleasure enhancers, are references that I'm referring to now. Now you're not stressed out. Your blood pressure is normal. You experience the benefit of getting this area under control. And guess what? You're going to save money because now your health is in control. You don't have to spend as much on areas as it relates to your health. and other things that could infringe upon not having discipline in this area. Now, I hope that you got the gist of what I've been trying to share with you as it relates to pain and pleasure enhancers are references in your life. Setting your will is so very important to living a productive quality of life. And beloved, that is what I've been trying to share with you and teach you for the last several weeks. Now, I encourage you to go back and view some of the previous teachings, if not all of them. Go back, review the material, because it is very important that you cumulatively bring all of this together and then not only just be a hearer, but a doer of the word. It will radically transform and transpose your life. I promise you it will. I am concerned about you living the abundant life because it is the will of God concerning you. He said, I wish above all that you be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And Jesus himself said that I come that you might have life and that you have life more abundantly. Then another translation of that same passage of John 10:10 says that he has come to give us life to the full in abundance until it overflows. That is God's will concerning us in our life. God wants the best for you. He doesn't want the worst. He wants the best for you. And guess what? I do too. And that's the reason, beloved, I come to you every week, teaching you and pouring out my heart to you to share truths and principles to help you live the overcoming life. Thank you for being my guest today on the Bishop's Connection with your host, Bishop Dr. Henry R. Williams. Now, I want you to remember to do three things for me. I want you to like, comment, and share. Now, before we close this broadcast, let me bless you. May the shalom of God be upon you and your family. Love, peace, and blessings. I want to share with you as well. Pastor Gwen and I would like to wish you and your family a happy and safe New Year. And amid the celebration, remember to keep Christ your first priority. Looking to see you next week, same place, same time. Until then, may the rest of your week be blessed, prosperous, and filled with the favor of the Lord. We love you, Pastor Gwen and I. We are praying for you, and we are expecting great things in this new year, 2021. And I want you to do the same thing. God bless you. See you on next week.
This is the Bishop's Connection with the inspirational word for you. This is the Bishop's Connection to the Facebook family and friends. This is the Bishop's Connection.